Hello, now that we completed iteration number 2, let's move ahead and start iteration 3 and add a second picker view. Where we are in the project, we completed iteration 1 blend and setup, and iteration 2 we now have the unit list appears in the second in one picker view, and it appears sorted. And then in the and then we our next iteration is to do the second picker view. And in the previous video, when we added the sorted, I said this is optional, and I probably made a big deal out of it being an optional. But now that I'm thinking about it, probably this shouldn't be an optional. It's gonna confuse you. So either I think everybody should do it. If you skip the sort, just make sure that you understand that the unit list will appear in my video from now on sorted, and it may not be sorted in yours. So just keep that in mind and don't be confused that what you see on my video will be different. Mine is now sorted, yours is not, if you didn't do the sorting part. So how do we go about adding a second picker view? We understand what a picker view works, how it works, so no research. The scope of this iteration is adding a second picker view to represent the same list of units. In this case, since we have the same set of units, and actually you need to have the same set of units to convert it from and to, both picker views will display the same set. You can have situations where the second picker view will have different list than the first, and in this case you want to worry a little bit about the controller, about the data source, and about the delegate. But in our case, since both lists are the same, this should be straightforward. It's because the same data source will work, we will need the same delegate, so we don't need to make any changes there. So how do we test this? Well, we open the app, and the list should appear in both picker views, and it should be the same order in both. So solution formulation, the model, everything is the same, no more changes to the model from previous iteration. The view, we're gonna add a second instance of the picker view, and then we need to connect that instance to the same view controller. Since I already have a view controller that is operating with that list of units and that already knows how to serve a picker view, there is no point of making another one. So we just use the same view controller, and as such, no change to the controller from previous iteration. So to implement this, it's very simple implementation indeed. So we just add an instance of the picker view to the view on the storyboard, connected to the controller as a delegate and data source, and the controller already knows what to do when it serves a picker view as a delegate and a data source, so nothing more is needed. So let's go ahead and implement that. So if we go to the storyboard, and I'll bring my utility area here, and it's still filtered the picker view, so I'll bring another picker view, and I'll adjust the width of that second picker view so I can put both of them together. I can see here it's 126 as width, so I can set that up to be the same. Also set up maybe the height also, 186. Alright, then align it. So we have the second picker view. So this now that we added the second picker view, need to connect it to the controller as a data source and a delegate. So control, drag from the picker view to the view controller and assign it as a data source. Then do it again and assign it as a delegate. So now when you right click on the view controller, you see it has two outlets. It's connected to the first picker view. It's connected to the first picker view as a data source, and the second picker view as a data source. So it serves as a data source to both. It also serves as delegate to both. So now we'll run. So now the second picker view comes and it has the units, same units, and they are listed in the same order as the first one. You may wonder, how did that happen? Why didn't we do all the work that we did in the previous iteration? If you go to the picker view, it already knows how to behave as a picker view delegate and data source. So when the second picker view comes, it will come to the number of components and it will return 1. So now this number of components in picker view will be called twice. Every time the operating system will pass a reference to which picker view is calling it. So in our case, the return is 1 whether it's the first or the second. So I don't need to distinguish the two. If you had a situation where you have to distinguish the two, you could tag them with a name and then make a comparison. And we did not cover the comparison yet. Make a comparison between for that tag, the first one or the second one, and I'll show you that in a minute. Same goes for the number of rows and same goes for the title. So these three functions are called by each picker view that this controller is serving as a delegate and a data source. If you go to the storyboard and look at the property list for the attribute list of a picker view, you will see one of them here called the tag. The tag attribute can carry numbers 0, 1, 2. So you can give the first picker view the tag 1, and you can give the second picker view the tag 0 and 1. And that can help you differentiate between the picker views when you come to one of those functions. So when you come to the number of components, you have the picker view reference, you can say picker view.tag, and if it is 0, then you know you are being called from the first picker view. If it is 1, you know you're being called from the second picker view. That is not going to be important in this project because both picker views display the same list. It was just a side point, side tracking to tell you if you had a situation where you need to display different lists but you want to use the same controller, how you can handle a situation like that. So that's about this part. So that concludes iteration number 3. It's very straightforward, very simple, and now we're ready to move to iteration 4 and actually do the conversion.